So we are back on some Kaiju number 8. Obviously we looked into Chester beforehand, and now we're looking into KIKORU. Had to do it a little bit later on, right? Purely because working on 2 characters, it actually does take a lot. A lot. So we finally got there. Obviously I'm still in the midst of working on her kit, but as you guys can see, obviously the new kit, it caters to her. So if you guys want to maximize on that, you can do so. Obviously attack, you want to keep with that because that's what your scales are from. Effect hit rate, because that way you can get your defense drops. And then blunt damage. You can also apply speed if you want to, but I'm just going to go more so on the damage side of it, of course. On top of all of that, if you choose to, you could actually alternatively run the effect hit rates gear set, which is, if I can find it. No, where is it? Ah, there we go, yes. So if you want to run the spider set, you can. Obviously this will give you your attack as per usual, and you get the effect hit rate increase. So again, if you are catering more so on wanting to get the debuffs applied, then this is also something that you guys can utilize. If you're more so in the debuff, I would say run spider. If you want some damage from KIKORU, then it will be the new armored set is what I would suggest. So that's kind of what we're looking at. But with what I'm showing you guys here, this is kind of effectively what you want to run. Again, the boots, you can apply speed if you choose to. So it's blunt or speed, whichever you fancy. Moving along to the weapon. So obviously we've got her weapon, which I realized the difference is that top part. Interesting. So fake hit rate goes up by 22%, which is fantastic. When attacking a kaiju that already has a debuff, the equipped unit's blunt damage gets a 16.5% increase, which is lovely. And then after the equipped unit destroys a kaiju PLT, applies attack of plus 27.5% for 2 turns. So something to take note. Something to take note to get a little bit more damage out of this KIKORU, of course. So that's kind of working with. I really wouldn't. Nah, there's no point. I mean, you could technically run that. What's her alternative? Because I'm not really seeing much of an alternative choice. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much of an alternative choice on her gauntlets, unfortunately. Anyway, moving along, let's take a look at what this character is capable of. So, increases the unit's damage dealt by an amount equal to 100% of the effect hit rate, max at plus 80%. So something you want to kind of cater to. Hence why gear set wise, if you want to apply the effect hit rate one, that's completely viable. At the start of the battle, the unit gets an ultimate gauge of 300, so she basically starts her off with her ultimate. Fantastic. And then after activating the ultimate, applies a 20% increase. Keep in mind with the new set, if you do apply the ultimate, that also gives you some additional power. So there's that. For the most important skills, combat skills, so you do blunt damage as per usual to a single target. You do adjacent damage, so that's not too bad. And then after attacking, has a 65 base percent chance to apply speed down to the target by 13.2%. So you can actually slow the enemy down. So it's not just dropping the defense; you can slow the enemy down. So that's not too bad. When it comes to the ultimate, again, you are doing blunt penetration damage of 151%. Once again, there is adjacent damage going on to other kaijus around by 76%. After attacking, has a 65 base percent chance to drop the enemy's defense by 13.5% for 2 turns. So key to make sure that your effect hit rate is slightly high up so you're getting the most out of this character. And then when it comes to the initial passive, after activating the ultimate, applies inheritance for 3 turns to this unit. What inheritance is that the unit's ultimate charge rate goes up by 100%. So that's basically, yeah, so all this gets activated the minute you enter the fight. After activating a normal attack, has a 65 base percent chance to drop the enemy's defense by 17% for 2 turns. And then if you activate the combat skill, has a chance to drop the defense by 12.6%. So not only can you drop the speed, but you also can drop the defense. So the debuffing is in full effect when it comes to what this character is capable of. Furthermore, just briefly touching up on the dupes. After attacking a kaiju that already has a debuff, applies blunt damage increase of 20% for 1 turn. So some additional damage right there. While in inheritance state, the unit's normal attack damage multiplier goes up by 30%, and the combat skill damage multiplier also gets an extra 30%. Heading over to the 4th dupe, at the start of the wave, it has a 150 base chance to apply effect resistance 20% to all kaiju, so again that's going to help her out to be fair. And then lastly, after activating the ultimate, applies ultimate damage multiplier of 130% to this unit, of course. This does not apply if an ultimate damage multiplier buff is already applied by this effect. Okay, after performing a normal attack while in inheritance state, advances this unit's next action by 20%. Essentially, this KIKORU is just all about getting her ultimate. You get that ultimate and then it's just debuff galore. That's kind of what we're working with here. I just thought about like how to build her pretty nicely, right? So this is the team that I was talking about where it's kind of, well, it's disgustingly viable, just gonna put it out there. But it got me thinking, what if we apply the spider set to give us the effect hit rate that then pushes the second gear set, being the chest gear set, and we push that for the ultimate charge rate increase. So that way KIKORU is pretty much a ultimate generator. So that way we're making good use of maximizing our debuffs. Low-key, that might be the build for her. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. That low-key might be the build for her. And I'm already making mistakes because obviously you want to effectively use her ASAP so that way you can get on with the debuffs. So I can see the use of this character. I really can. Okay, just under 10k. That's expected. We got to build it up. We got to get there. We got to get there. Get the adjacent going on. Look at that. And the speed down too. Oh my god, Tosho's gonna feast. Oh, and we're going again. I might actually have to push for that, boys. I think that might be the best bet. Spider set. Middle set is going to be charge rate for the ultimate, because obviously we're bouncing off from the gear set to give us the effect hit rate through that and the weapon I've got also got. So that might be the move, if anything. Okay. Yeah, let's go for the break here. Nice. Follow up. I was hoping for some number 2 action, but that's fine. Alright, boom, boom. Piggyback off this. Oh my god, and she goes again. You don't stop. Yeah, she is one hell of a debuffer. She is one hell of a debuffer. I'm not gonna deny that right now. She is putting in the finest of work. I'm sorry, that consistency is pretty disgusting. I might just say to hell with the damage and fully commit to the amount of debuffs that she can just kind of consistently apply. Because, well, I mean, it's solid. I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't stack. If it stacked, my god, the enemies won't stand a chance. But we know it's there at a good, comfortable rate. So I'm just going to go strong with Soshiro. I just kind of want to feel him out on what we're doing in this scenario. 100k. Yeah. That's solid. That is solid. Can't complain. Yeah, not a bad character. I'll have to give it to her. She's one hell of a debuffing attacker. Again, the attack wise, once everything is kind of built up and whatnot, then you're kind of mostly averaging, well, from my perspective, it was around about 30k. If I push a little bit more and get a gear set up and whatnot, I can probably, on average, once the build up is there, under 50k I think I can probably push for. Damage wise, of course, that is, but overall, yeah, KIKORU's not a bad character. But once again, I stand by with what I said beforehand in terms of where we're at on who you want to focus on. Chester will probably be the more desirable character, but this KIKORU is a bit of a bonus if you get lucky, or if you still want to try and pull for her. There's value to be gained with this character in terms of yeah, the debuffing that she can apply. I think that's going to be a great deal of help and just gives us more of a wider choice of team building. And well, right now she's kind of like the only debuffer, right? I don't think there's anyone really doing it on her scale in terms of dropping the enemy's defense and speed. So yeah, if only she can drop the enemy's action, as in slow down their action. Now that would be insane. That would be broken. Anyway, yeah, KIKORU, not bad. She's not a bad character.